Well, looks like Notter's going to continue to forge on, though, as he still runs on the racetrack. He is 41st, but he could pick up some spots if some drivers retire from the race. And here's the way they'll line up with one to go. James Bald is the leader. Then we got John Dillon in second. Third is Angel D'Souza. Fourth is John Worry. And fifth is Jordan Hester. Then it's Doug Shears, our points leader. He's sixth. Seventh is another chase contender in Daniel Schwab. Matthew Rodriguez wins in 8th. 9th is Philip Stiller. And his teammate, Mark George, having a good run right there in the 10th position. Trent Whitney is up to the 11th position. How about Connor Breton? A good run for him. He is 12th. Christian James runs there in 13th position. 14th is Patrick Scroggins, our pole sitter. And Robert Band runs in 15th. Another chase contender, Vincent Marsh, runs 16th. 17th is Martin Zacala. 18th is Paolo Gonzalez. 19th, Steve Marsh. And 20th is Noah Cars. Brandon Gonzalez, 21st. Jared Crozier, 22nd. Adam Rose, 23rd. And then two chase contenders in Lisa Shears and Wyatt Johnston. They round out the rest of the top 25. So here we go, as we will get back to go under the green flag once again for the restart. We're halfway now here at Kansas. Green flag back out. Bald with a huge advantage there. I think Dillon may have spun the tires. And oh, wow, back there Daniel Schwab just almost turned points leader Doug Shears. That would have been big. Angel D'Souza has not gone to victory lane yet in this series. She is a chase contender, but she has not yet gone to victory lane. Neither is John Dillon. Neither is James Bald. But I do believe that both Daniel Schwab and John Worry have. Yes, they have, indeed. As a matter of fact, they went to victory lane 1 week after each other. Worry did it at Darlington, and then a week later at Dover, it was Daniel Schwab who went to victory lane. But now, James Bald is about to get under fire for the lead. D'Souza and Dillon both running down the Long John Silver's Ford. John Worry also there trying to run down the James Bald machine. And I think James Bald out to prove something. Remember back at Daytona, I believe it was, he ended up almost losing his job to Jared Crozier. Crozier, if he had ended up getting a top 10 finish in the Daytona race, then the 38 would be under the driving of Jared Crozier for the rest of the season. However, he did not finish in the top 10, so James Bald was put back in the race car, and I think he's out to prove, hey, I can run really well in races, I can win races, I can run out front, and right now he is showing off the muscle of that Long John Silver's Ford number 38 from Front Row Motorsports. James Bald would love to be able to prove that he can race at other tracks other than restrictor plate tracks. He's got a pretty good repertoire, though, for restrictor plate tracks. A win in the Mobil 1 Cup Series at Daytona, I believe it was, or was it Talladega? Nope, it was at Talladega. And also, he has a second place finish in the season. Oh, wow, how about that? I just saw John Worry move John Dillon right out of the way there. But anyway, going back to James Bald, Bald ended up having a second place finish in the season opener for the Oreo Truck Series. Finished in second, and there's a slower car up ahead. Oh no, it's the caution flag. The pace car is out. Andrew Gonzalez is involved. Martin Zacala is involved as well. Oh, Logan Wilson, chase contender, may have been involved. I don't know for certain. Doesn't really look like there's... Well, there is a little bit of hood damage to the Logan Wilson machine, but doesn't look like anything fatal. However, I wish I could say the same for Andrew Gonzalez. That car is crunched. At UPS, Ford will not be delivering freight today. He's got a big motor problem right now, and let's see why he and Logan Wilson, chase contender, as well as Martin Zacala, why they were caught up in a wreck here, bringing out the second caution of the day. Well, it's almost the same thing we saw before that brought out the first caution. A little contact between Noah Cars and Vincent Marsh sends Martin Zacala down into the grass area. And Silent C just kind of rides it out there. And I think he was planning to come back up the racetrack in a gap. And I don't think he was able to do it quite right, though. Because we'll see right here he's going to come up. And there is no gap. Instead, there is the 43 car. Oh, kind of sideswiped Zacala. That is some pretty bad damage for Logan Wilson. Be interesting to see if he's going to be able to return to the racetrack or not. That may have knocked him out of chase contention. I don't want to jinx him or anything, but I think that may have. But Andrew Gonzalez, I think, took the hardest hit of them all. But Martin Zacala's got some pretty bad damage as well. Let's go back for the restart. Well, we've ended up having our first retiree from the race as a chaser. Logan Wilson did indeed take his car back to the garage area. He will finish, I believe, officially in the 41st position. So I believe that knocks him out of championship contention for the Snickers Cup Series. So real tough break there. Also, Martin Zakala and Andrew Gonzalez, who were also caught up in that wreck, went back to the garage area. Here's the way they line up for the restart. James Bald is the leader. John Worry's up to second. Third is Angel D'Souza. Fourth is Daniel Schwab. He is the second highest chase contender behind Angel D'Souza. Then it's John Dillon in fifth. Sixth is Philip Stiller. Seventh is Doug Shears. Jordan Hesder in eighth. Christian Janes ninth. And Robert Bands up to 10th. Mark George is 11th. Paola Gonzalez in 12th. 13th right now is Matthew Rodriguez. And 14th, 15th run Connor Breeden and Patrick Scroggins. Back up to the front, and James Bald as he'll prepare to lead them back down for the restart. It'll be a total of, I believe, 6 laps to go when they cross the stripe, so we'll have a little bit of a shootout here. Hopefully we'll be able to finish it under green. Here we go. Restart is underway with James Bald out in front. The car that spun the tires that time was Angel D'Souza. Daniel Schwab going to get down to the inside of her for that third position. And John Worry closing in on the back bumper of James Bald takes a peek. No. Boy, with the momentum he had there, I'm surprised he didn't do something with it, but nonetheless, he did not make the move, and therefore he is going to end up still staying in the second position, and maybe even fall back into the clutches of Daniel Schwab. Schwab and Worry, remember I mentioned they went to victory lane here in the Snickers Cup Series in back-to-back weeks. James Bald, however, has been out front almost all day long, has not allowed anybody to get past him. However, he may not have any choice in the matter here. Here comes Worry, takes a peek to the inside. Bald kind of blocks him. Worry, wow. Bald putting on some good defensive moves onto the Office Depot Chevrolet. But here comes John Worry. Down to the inside. Bald again wants to block him, but cannot do it this time. It's going to be John Worry going to the front. Maybe not. Wow, that was close. Worry will go to the front. James Bald back to second, and Daniel Schwab will slip to third. Angel D'Souza runs fourth, and Philip Stiller is battling it out right there in a good battle with John Dillon. Let's look at that battle. Look at this. Dillon, Stiller, Janes, Mark George, Shears is involved there. But Dillon forges ahead. We got a total now of 3 laps to go. Can James Bald rally back and get the lead away from John Worry? It's going to be very interesting to see if he can do so. If I'm not mistaken, we do not yet have a repeat winner here in the Snickers Cup Series. We have a chance of that happening here today if John Worry goes to victory lane. However, James Bald is running him down here. He is closing in, and he may make a move on him somewhere around here. Will he go to the inside? He's there. Can he make a move? The Long John Silver Ford stays where he is right now, and maybe he'll fall into the clutches of Daniel Schwab now. I think he did. Yep. Schwab's going to get to the inside, and that may have been a costly mistake by James Bald not making the move there. As John Worry's going to come down and get the checkered flag, or not the checkered flag, the white flag. But I think that there's nobody going to be able to catch him now. Worry, I believe, will be the first repeat winner in the Snickers Cup Series as he is out in front here. And Worry was actually very close to making the chase. He was about, I think, at the most 15 points out of making the chase, and really was upset about that. Didn't like the fact he didn't make the chase, but today he'll come off turn 4 for the final time and become the first repeat winner in the Snickers Cup Series. John Worry wins at Kansas. Daniel Schwab finishing there in the second position. How about that? Angel D'Souza, a run needed, third place. Fourth is John Dillon, and James Bald slipped all the way back to the 5th position. 6th spot goes to Christian Janes. Looks like 7th is Mark George, 8th Philip Stiller, 9th Doug Shears, and Scroggins will finish in 10th. How about this guy right here? Great run for Connor Breeden, 11th place. Good run for that No Fear Chevrolet. And how about Trent Whitney? Trent Whitney back there in that unsponsored 46, 13th place. Let's take a look at the finishing order now for today's race here at Kansas. Here we go. John Worry, Schwab, D'Souza, Dillon, and Ball. That's the top 5. Christian Janes, a good run for him. Both Christian Janes and Angel D'Souza kind of doing exactly what they needed to do, getting good finishes to be able to stay in contention for the championship. Mark George there in 7th, 8th Philip Stiller, 9th Doug Shears, and 10th Patrick Scroggins. Connor Breton in 11th, another chase contender in 12th. That's Jordan Hesder. Trent Whitney in 13th. Lisa Shears, another chase contender, a good top 15 finish in 14th. And Matthew Rodriguez in 15th. Noah Carr 16th. Kenny McCurry 17th. 18th is Paolo Gonzalez. 19th, Ben Stern. And Sean Galligan in 20th. 21st, another chase contender, Wyatt Johnston. 22nd is Arnold Columbia. He is another chase contender. Then we got Alex Ban, Alex Filter, Matt Berg, Chad Skinner, Steve Marsh, and Brandon Gonzalez. That's the top 28. Let's take a look further down. 29th position, Adam Rose, Timmy Pacioli in 30th. Jared Croce is 21st. Adam Chambers 31st, Jared Croce is 32nd. Adam Chambers. Noel Stiller at Ride Swap didn't exactly help him out that much. It wasn't exactly up at the front very much either. 33rd finishing order for him. I don't know if that's knocking him mathematically out of the chase or not. We'll talk about that next week. Anthony McCurry, 34th. Vincent Marsh came in tied for 3rd in the standings, 10 points back. He finds problems here today. 35th position finishing. Robert Band was up there in the top 10. All of a sudden he slid all the way back and finished in 36. Not sure what happened there either. Matt Smith, 37th. Anthony Nodder finishes the race, 16 seconds behind the leader, 38th position. He's going to lose a few spots in the standings, I'm sure. Martin Zakala, Logan Wilson, Andrew Gonzalez, and Jake Cole finish out of the race in 39th through 42nd. The most notable, Logan Wilson, 40th. I think that mathematically takes him out of championship contention for the Snickers Cup Series. But we head next over to Texas Motor Speedway for all 3 series. And then we finish this whole season up with the races at Phoenix and Homestead. Hope you'll tune in for all of those. Hope you enjoyed today's race. Congratulations to John Worry. He becomes the first repeat winner in the Snickers Cup Series, going to victory lane here at Kansas. And for everybody here in the NNSCRA studios, I'm Seth Cole. Points Day is coming up next. You've been watching the production of the NNSCRA, now merged with the NCG MRS.